sun goes down, and then all of a sudden the storm. See, it's backwards, man. These should have been like a late afternoon heating of the day thunderstorms, but it's not. This is just a man-made weather system. There's not even no clouds around. This is all chemtrails. And we just blow it up. Ground-based water vapor generators right there. Let's check the radars. Man, microwave pulse rings already. Yeah, it's really weird, man. They're keeping the hot areas, the hot zones. Look at that. This NEXRAD just blew all that outflow out. No way the storm should even have been forming right there. Look at this stuff flying below the clouds. Them aren't birds. Them aren't bees. Them aren't bats. Whoa, did you see that ring right there over the military NEXRAD right there in Omaha? Outfield Air Force Base right there. Now watch this NEXRAD. When it picks it up on this, like what it's getting ready to do here, look at that ring. That's probably the worst I've ever seen it. Wow, we're going to zoom in. I see some energy being pulsed out of the radar there in Colorado, western Kansas. Whoa, look at that. You had inflow and outflow. And then look, the radar pulses. I mean, this is just insane. We're watching full manipulation right here. We have to get closer on this. All right, the first one. Man, I don't even know which one to look at. There's so many freaky ones. Let's try the Air Force Base NEXRAD. Now, I filmed this thing a lot of times when I went up to Omaha. Got some really good footage of the plane that does the surveillance. This should be very interesting. Oh, I can already see the frequency waves. This is going to be pretty interesting radar shots that we're going to see tonight. So the atmospheric conditions, look at that, man. Gravity waves. Man, this is complete manipulation, complete pulse out. Look at that. Beam shooting out. All the outflow. Look at this. This is just insane. This is all going kind of southeast. Then they just completely crank up the radar. Let's try the base velocity. Then we'll see the inflowing and the outflowing. Oh man, that's so blatant. I mean, to me, this is just completely blatant manipulation with the NEXRAD. It's being pulsed. Look at the frequency waves. The whole wind vectors just change, man. It's almost like they're trying to create a vortex out of this thing. Super pulse. Now, we got a couple other freaky ones we definitely got to look at, too. I just want to document this. Just like the Paradise Fire, we documented the fires were explosions by going through all these different layers. We seen that the NEXRAD pulsed 2 times, and then boom, the fires ignited. And they all connected. The radar connected to the explosion points. I mean, it was blatant what they were doing there. I mean, this is to expose them of all the madness that's going on. Now, this layer here is the layer you'd be looking at if there was a tornado and you were looking for like a debris ball. Oh, man, that's just insane. Look at that stuff zinging around there. And I always like, look at this echo tops. It's just pretty freaky. Man, everything's just flowing all kinds of different directions. All right, let's check. Let me put this back on the base reflectivity. And then we're going to go check the other radar that I've seen just completely freaking out. Is one of these two. This one should be pretty interesting too. If it's, look at that. Come on. Really? If that isn't a pulse, and then look at the storms firing up. Come on, this is, oh my gosh. Look at that. It's just pulsing, pulsing, pulsing. Look at that, man. Completely manipulating. You got a bunch of solar farms or wind farms in here. The wind farms are pulsing. I mean, that's just not normal right there at all. And then this, look, there's even hail popping right out of that storm as soon as it fires up. And the atmospheric conditions, look at the, I can even see the microwaves, the frequencies coming out of there. Engineered weather. Yeah, wake up. Definitely do not consent to this. I mean, this is undeniable. Even a meteorologist can't explain this. You know, he'd probably tell you they're birds. Wow, look at, man, this is so blatant right here. You know, the inflow and the outflow winds aren't matching the clouds. This is just microwaves and radio frequency pulses pulsing this out, firing that storm up like crazy. They're holding the winds in place. They're focused, the focus pulse is going right up here, right where the storms are firing up. I wouldn't be surprised if we have tornadoes tonight. When you look at it in a bigger view, so just let me speed this up so I can get to what I want to see. So we're going to check that radar beside it too. I mean, man, that's just insane. That is so manipulated. Let's see what this one looks like on the echo tops. Not that this does anything, but I just want to see what it looks like. It may not show any data. Hey, thanks out there, Captain Guam. Yeah, big hail. Yeah, I can see hail core as soon as the storms fire up. All right, that's all I wanted to look at on that. Let me get this over to the next radar because we have to document this, man. You could probably use this in a court of law with somebody that could talk the right terminology, that this is being manipulated, like no doubt about it. Sending horizontal pulses, and then it receives it back is what creates the images. But it's the simple fact that, you know, inside these buildings of the HARP, you have a radioactive, like, capacitor. I can't remember what it's called. We went over it the other night. Look at it. It's like a tractor beam going to that hail core. That's coming straight out of the radar and connecting to the hail core. So look at that. Pulses coming out. Pulses come out. And check this out. This is geostorm right here. Hell. That's big time hell. Big time hell. And there's little fingers of, you know, RF that's going up into each one of these storms. Pulses start. Look at that. Hell core in that one. Hell core in that one. And they're all connecting. These are powerful storms right here. Look at this. No tornadoes though. Well, we did have a tornado in Wichita, Kansas. That's what we're looking at, where these hail cores are. These were tornadic. Especially that one, man. That's got some spin, some rotation on it. Might as well check, see if we got any, oh, this is definitely an upgraded radar. Look, we have all the different loops. Let's try a 1.5 degree tilt. So this is the upgraded radar, the upgraded NEXRAD, that's a phased array antenna, just like HARP. It's phased array, just like scatter radars and all them. So this is a different tilt to it. Whoa. They're creating a vortex. These are all probably tornadic. That was probably like 3 funnel clouds in a row. Let's check the 2.5 tilt. Man, that's awesome when we got the upgraded radars. You know, these things aren't nothing powerful like HARP or nothing, but the simple fact that they're phased array antennas, they use a radioactive engine to get these things going, to send these signals out. Yeah, there's 4 hell cores. 2 of them look like they had rotation. You know, we're looking at this at different angles up into the clouds. Let's go ahead and try the 3.5. Yeah, AI definitely runs all this. Raytheon, the Department of Defense, the Homeland Security, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, they're all responsible. So, but anyway, since these aren't as powerful as HARP, but if you triangulate, you know, all these can go out. This shows 100 nautical miles, but they can produce signals up to 200 nautical miles around the radar. So we're only seeing, you know, 100 nautical miles worth of information, but yet they can affect the atmosphere 200 miles away. These are wicked fast moving storms too. Now we can get into the base velocities and check the different tilts. But if you put all these NEXRADs in conjunction like a circuit board, you don't need HARP. You don't need ionospheric heating. These are localized manipulations right here. You know, this radar and the next radar probably almost connect. So that's how they're controlling. Then they spray the aerosols in there, give them the metals to work with like a computer, you know, smart nanobots. All the chemtrails are ran by AI. It's a program. I've gone over it a couple times. So is all these radars. This is all built by Raytheon. Every bit of these maps that we use is built by Raytheon. The weird thing is the winds, the inflows and the outflows are just really weird. So let's check the 1.5s. Yeah, man, the stream is just sucking again tonight. You know, whoever's watching this video that later on, I almost need to type it probably in the chat that if you bring up 2 of these videos, and then you're going to have to try to sync the audio unless John Hart's out there. Sometimes he fixes them. You know, I was uploading the HD versions to Brighton, but I'd get like 3/4 of the way through the upload and it wouldn't take, and I'd have to start over, and then it was just killing my bandwidth. I just couldn't afford it. So I'm only going to put really important videos up on there. Like maybe I'll have to upload this one up in HD just so people could see what's matching the audio. It's hard enough to follow this without the audio and video not being in sync. Look, it's the yin and the yang, and then they broke it apart. So at this tilt, the 3.5 tilt, they use the little miniatures yin and the yang. They're trying to spin some stuff up. So we're just kind of boiling and boom, they turn it off, and then look what happens. That's what, look at the pulses for sure. Whoa, wonder what them purple flashes are. I'll have to read into this because I'm not really sure what that layer was. So let me look at this. Yeah, we definitely need to check the radar up to the northeast. Man, that one in Iowa was freaking out too. Let's go up here where the storm is. We'll check, make sure no tornadoes are going right now. No tornadoes, just severe thunderstorms, flash floods. You know, one thing, you know, a lot of people say they're going to make the grid go down. They're not going to make the grid go down. They need this stuff working. The only thing that's going to take the grid down would be a big time CME or a Carrington type event, and then everything would go down except for the underground bases. Look at this. This is all created. Same thing as the radars below. We can see the hell there. That's starting to spin up. So you got inflow, and then they kind of converge. One thing I want to look at while we got this going is we need to look at the cold air. We need to take a look because the cold air is more heavy, more dense. Let me try to do this with the mid-level water vapor, just see if I can tell. when your local weather's showing you the weather and stuff, and you look at the temperatures around the city, it's always way hotter from all the concrete. See, that's another form of manipulating the weather or climate change. Around every city, everything is so much hotter from all the concrete. There's no trees to filter the air, but yet they want everybody to move into these mega cities, and then all they have to do is release some plague or something, man. They wipe out the whole city. That's why everybody should be sparse and spread out. Definitely ground-based water generators right there. One more thing I want to look at was get the we're going to get back to the radar in here in a second. I need to check this, and then I want to put it on the temperature. You know, we're looking at springtime storms right now, but look at the temperature difference. Even the super cold, the cold front's 57, and where these storms are firing up are, you know, 68, 61, 70. These storms should not be that intense unless they're being superheated. And that's what we're seeing with the NEXRADs. Now let's take a look at this one on the... Wow, this is another upgraded radar. See, they got a lot of these upgraded radars in the Midwest, right where all the mega flooding was. But you notice that none of these NEXRAD stations gets hit by hail. They don't get hit by the tornadoes. It's because they steer them around. We had a perfect example not too long ago in Colorado where this monster hailstorm was steered just perfectly right around the radar. It was coming right at it, and they kept it right around the 50 nautical miles away. It went right around it. See, like these wind patterns are not making sense. If you had the cold inflow, all this green would be, you know, facing the other way. And then, yeah, the storms just light up. The red and green, these are like the inflow winds and the outflow winds. When we're looking at the base velocity is actually the winds, inflow and outflow. Now this is the one I look for, like debris balls. You can pretty much spot a tornado if it's picking up debris with this layer. Yeah, and I'm not really seeing anything like that. So let me look here. We'll do one more. I'm getting really tired, so we'll I really want to look at this one in Iowa. Let's see what this baby does here. Yeah, we don't get fall or spring anymore. It just goes straight. Like, yeah, this one's definitely doing some odd stuff here. We got searchlight mode beams going out. Hail core down here in North Missouri. Look at this sucker flashing out too. Yeah, pretty wicked. Look at the hail. The purple's like the hail cores. This is probably quite a bit of hail, quite a bit of wind. These storms are cruising. Big hail core right there. I looked a little north of Kirksville. I want to look at this one on the base velocity. This is not an upgraded phased array. Yeah, the mainstream media, they're paid to make shit up. I mean, that's what they do. They make it up as they go. Half the time they steal our terminology and then spin it to fit their agenda. Alright, so the beams are not really being on long enough to do a whole lot. Alright guys, so if you're in the path of these storms, these suckers are going to be laying some heavy rainfall amounts. Let me put the watches and warnings on real quick to see. Wow, look at it, just flashes up out of nowhere. So there you go. There's the radars that are doing the work, creating the destabilized atmosphere in the line, and then they disappear as fast as they pop up. Oh wow, look at all the... Wow, we got... I got to slow it down now a little bit. Flood warnings, blizzard warnings, or winter storm warnings, And then watch these tornadoes pop up all over North Missouri, Kansas, all over Kansas. Still a tornado watch box for northeast Missouri, southern Iowa, and parts of Illinois. So let me stop this and we'll see. So right here at the North Missouri, Iowa, Illinois tornado warning. Even some tornado warnings there in Iowa, over in Illinois. As we go through here, look, even back at the beginning of the storms, there's still fire and tornado warnings up in Kansas. Now look at Illinois, man. They're packed with tornado warnings. And look, they just keep getting tornado warnings in Kansas. Anyway, thanks everybody that helps us out. Keep sharing this out, man. We got to wake the masses. They're asleep. They have no idea what's going on. Make sure you share and all that crazy stuff. Anyway, let's play a song called Rise. I'll jump over on DLIVE, give away the treasure chest. Then I'll jump in chat for a few minutes. Here we go. Crank it up.